I would describe it as we try to stay away from the things to start with that we don't understand. And when I say don't understand, it isn't that I don't understand, what a certain business does. But when I say understand, it means that I think I have a reasonable fix on about what the earning power and competitive position will look like in 5 or 10 years. So I've got some notion of how the industry will develop and where the company will stand within the industry. Well, that eliminates a whole bunch of things. And then beyond that, if the price is crazy, even though I understand it, that eliminates another bunch. So you get down to a very small universe, and you get down to a particularly small universe when we're working with lots of money as we are now. But I would say this. I can't recall any time in the last 30 years, at least, that we've bought a new issue, have we, Shirley?
I can't think of one.
No. I mean, the idea that somebody is bringing something to market today, a seller who has a choice of when to come to market, and that security, where there's going to be a lot of hoopla connected with it, is going to be the single cheapest thing to buy out of thousands and thousands and thousands of businesses in the world, is nonsense. So
and when it carries a 7% commission, or higher, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So you know it can't be the most attractive thing. Now, but people get excited about what's coming and all that sort of thing. But I will guarantee you that if you have thousands of opportunities among stocks all over the world, and most of them are not being promoted or being sold with special commissions in them or something else, and then some other security is coming to market that day, when the seller picks the time to bring it, as opposed to just this auction market operating otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense to spend 5 seconds thinking about new issues. So we don't think about them. We don't have to do very many things that work. I mean, that's the beauty of this business. You just have to do 1 or 2 things every now and then that where you don't make a big mistake, and where every now and then one works out real well, and the solution, you'll get a good result. You can't have a big disaster.
I think there are a couple of little rules of thumb. If it's got a really large commission in it,
forget it.
Don't read it. Because the chances somebody who's paying a very high commission to give you a big advantage is very low. And I certainly don't think you want to turn the major stock exchange of the country into even more of a casino than it is already. And I agree with Warren that it ought to be a public institution that cares deeply about its duties as exemplar.
I personally think it would be better if the New York Stock Exchange remained as a neutral. The exchange has done a very good job over centuries. It's one of the most important institutions in the world, and the enemy of investment performance is activity. So I personally would rather not have an exchange which is trying to increase its earnings per share annually, and thereby wanting to encourage people to trade more actively and create more income for itself. That will not be, in my view, good for the American investors. I know the American investor will not be better off if volume doubles on the New York Stock Exchange, and I know that the New York Stock Exchange, as a for-profit institution, would be trying to figure out ways to have that volume increase and to perhaps even charge more money one way or the other. I mean, the profit of an exchange, the profit of the people working on it, in a sense, that's the frictional cost of capitalism. That's coming out of the earnings of the businesses. And IBM or General Motors or General Electric will not earn more money because their stock turns over more frequently.
I would say that in 54 years, I don't think Berkshire's ever bought a new issue. I mean, the idea of saying the best place in the world I can put my money is something where all the selling incentives are there, commissions are higher, the animal spirits are rising. I mean, that's going to be better than 1,000 other things I can buy where there is no similar selling enthusiasm. That's the single best thing to buy on a given day. I mean,
I can't think of a time we've ever done it.
Yeah.
Ever bought an IPO?
Yeah, never bought one.
Yeah. How can it be?
They don't even call us.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that necessarily what we're buying is going to work out better, but there have to always be better things. And like I say, the commissions they've come down, I think, now on this. But I mean, the highest commission thing that a stock salesman could sell to securities was the new issue. So you have all this push behind it. We like to buy things where nobody's making a dime selling them to us.